Hello again YouTube and welcome back to Scenes Memories of the Starry Sky. My name is MS-Punk1 and last video we learned a little bit about what is going on in Hinata's head as we started up with her just sitting on a bench and thinking about everything. And then after a little while Shihaya managed to find her and they had a back and forth with each other until Juni also came and ended things, so however you wanna call it. And apparently it seems like it ended in a good way, because now Shrimpy, who we learned in the last video, was actually Hinata. She's apologizing for everything. As we said. I could have ended the video right here somewhere last time, since I usually end it after with a new chapter or something. I got a Shoko message from Shihaya as soon as I arrived at my destination. It's finally time, huh? Last night, Shihaya explained what happened with Shrimpy to her father. Shihaya told him that she had identified Shrimpy and had her put up an apology video, and she wanted to resume renovating the old estate now that the issue was resolved. Audio wasn't familiar with Shoko casters and would give her an answer later after discussing it with his secretary Kido. That answer had finally come in. I assumed everything would be okay, but the wait had been agonizing. Alright. I've been feeling restless since this morning. It felt like I had finally found some relief. Rumors immediately quieted down once Shrimpy uploaded an apology video. I figured it would take time for rumors to simmer down once they had spread, so this had been unexpected. The reason being rather shocking, because the rumors hadn't actually spread very far from the start. Shrimpy's fans apparently hadn't taken her scoop video very seriously to begin with. Most of the comments on her apology video were something like, "I knew it was a meme of the whole time," or "This wasn't part of some game collab." This wasn't a part of some game collab. I assumed things would escalate after the estate was vandalized with graffiti, but it seemed to be an outlier. What's that? Pretty much nobody had taken what Snoopy said as seriously as at least not as much as we, Hojo and Kido had. But another way the vast majority of Shrimpy fans had enough sense to not fall prey to news from sketchy sources. I could tell by the look on Hinata's face that she had a harder time accepting she wasn't as influential as she thought. But she decided to take it as a lucky break. She sure psyched up. I'm sure she is. Hinata owned up to her mistakes and told her father what she had done. Shaya was present during this particular conversation and insisted Hinata be forgiven, and it sounded like her father wasn't too angry with her. In the end, they came to an arrangement to forgive her mistakes after a week of being confined to her home. The Shrimpy problem has been resolved, so let's focus on the next job. That was what I had come here for today. That's what I came here for today. To the location of my brother's accident. I set my bike against the guardrail and took a seat myself. The weather was great, and the wind felt excellent. Brother, it's been a while. No, maybe it actually hasn't. Come to think of it, I had just been here last month for the anniversary of his death. It feels like it's been a while though. A lot has happened this spring. Every day has been jam-packed. Oh yeah, I met a few people who said they know you. They're all girls, of course. You sure were popular. You remember a year ago? She said she came back to Sumisora. She said she become an idol. Awesome, right? And I heard you were dating Ichihashi. You should have told me. I felt like an idiot. And also Azusa. You and Azusa knew each other, right? No, they must have had a stronger connection than that. Otherwise... You took a job to help Azusa, right? You won't tell me what it was, though. If you did when you can't let her make a face like that. Don't you get it, brother? Did you forget the company motto? If the customers smile, the customers smile is the greatest compensation of all. That's right. I didn't want Azusa to cry and look like she was in constant agony. I had already made the decision to do whatever I could to help her. I take over that job, brother. I came here today to tell you that. Shaya and Hinata had finally faced the issue they had been ignoring and could finally move forward. They faced themselves and each other and were ready to destroy the relationship if needed. When I saw those two, I felt that I had to do the same. I thought I had overcome Takaya's death. Since I'd gone to school, hung out with friends and went about my job like I normally did. But I hadn't overcome anything. Instead, I was trying to avoid facing reality. I honestly wasn't sure how it was different. And I often wondered if I should just leave well enough alone. No matter how I tried to wrap my mind around it, I couldn't cause problems for those around me. But I want to help Azusa. I'm positive Azusa wants to work with me. She told me time and time again that I can't be Kaya's replacement. You may not want me to take the reins either. But I have to. It's selfish, but I'm going to do it. To make that happen, I first had to figure out what job Takaya had taken. What I knew was that Azusa had been his client, and the old estate was connected in some form or fashion. I only had those two things to go out of, but we were off to an optimistic start. First off, I tried to take another look around your room. You wouldn't mind leaving at least one lead behind for me, would you? A strong wind rocked my bike. It was an iffy breeze that I wasn't sure was a tall wind or a headwind, a tailwind or a headwind. Alright, let's get this job started. 1 hour later. Did it take an hour for me to head home or to search? Ew. Of course it wouldn't be that easy. I was feeling incredibly motivated when I returned home to sort through my brother's belongings, only to come up short. His laptop battery was dead and password protected, so I decided to leave it with Dad and Misora for the time being. There was a good chance he had things on where he didn't want us to see. On top of that, there didn't seem to be anything else in this room that would amount to a clue. My brother was not materialistic, was a materialistic person. He was the type to frequent his local library to borrow books. All he had on his shelves were a few magazines and a row of gifts he had received from others. It would have been helpful if he had left behind a journal or letters, but Misora likely took care of these ages ago, if any existed. I would occasionally come to his room to space out following his death, but didn't dare to touch any of his belongings. It didn't feel right to look through his things without his permission. That's what I believed anyway. In that sense, you could say that I had taken a step forward today. Even though I was back to square one. I've only just begun. I won't give up. You better prepare yourself, brother. No, Susa. When I came back downstairs, Misora and Aino returned home from school and were slurping away on Happy-Go ice cream. And Misora too, of course. You two really like those, huh? I looked around for Susa, but she was nowhere to be found. I wondered where she'd be. I would have thought she'd be slurping away with them. Where's Susa? Doesn't she have work today? Susa had started killing time before work by hanging out at Sugendo. She must have gone on the offensive now that we knew where she worked, and gotten into the routine of telling us when her next shift would be. The only catch was that she apparently told Misora and Aino that they absolutely couldn't come.
あずん、今日はお休みなんだって、バイト。用事があるそうです。
I see. A part of me was just a little relieved that to learn that Susa wouldn't be coming. Those feelings directly contradicted my decision to face her head on. It really was pathetic. Just as I was about to head back to my room, I noticed a crude bundle of leftovers and an envelopes on the reception table. Anything for me? Do your job. Checking the mail was one of Misora's responsibilities. It's fine, I handle it. Yeah. I sat down on the sofa and sorted through the mail. We received a decent amount of mail, but it was easy to sort since the majority of the stack were bills addressed to Sugendo. That was when I saw the name addressed on one of the postcards and my body froze. Takaya. Missouri and I know rushed over if they had to go stealing their mouths. The seal with the Sugendo address and Takaya's name printed was stamped onto the government-issued postcard. The sender field had a Mahiro Children's Center stamped onto it. My Hero Children's Center? What's that about?
児童養護施設だよ。タカ兄が担当してたとこ。
He was? I checked back and there was a good deal of something I can't read, sorry, printed text. There was an invitation to their monthly group reading.
父さんから伝えてあるはずだけど、タカ兄のこと。
Takaya's name must have still been on their direct mailing list. In actuality, Takaya's name should have been removed from the list when Dad got in touch with them. It suggested there was someone at Mahiro Children's Center who was bad at paperwork. Meaning it was a sheer coincidence that this had been delivered today. Yes, a coincidence. But there's nothing wrong with it being a coincidence, is there?
順に？純也さん？
My brother sure knew how to read the room. And finally found the lead. It's a Susan from the orphanage. And that is where they got in contact. That very afternoon, I headed to that orphanage, the Mahiro Children's Center. The facility was even further west than Azusa's apartment or where Takaya's accident occurred, specifically at the border of Sushi City. From what I saw online, the name was transferred from the old orphanage in Sumisora and named after a kindergarten principal who founded the newer facility.
高谷さんの弟さん。目の雰囲気が似ていますね。
There was a female teacher with a ponytail and a male teacher with a rounded face out in the yard. The female teacher came over to talk to me. The male teacher was in a sandbox making sand hills with some well-behaved, seeming little girls. Children of varying ages and genders were playing and having fun together across the yard. Takaya had likely seen a similar sight.
子供に好かれる方でしたね。高谷さんが来るとみんなわーって集まって。
Apparently they didn't have a male teacher on staff at the children's center for quite some time, and they hired a Sugendo to perform manual labor whenever they needed it. The children's center never had any surplus in their budget. Once the round-faced teacher surrounded by schoolgirls in the sandbox came on board, we had stopped asking for Segendo's help. However, Takaya continued stopping by to play with the kids as a pretext to check on the pipes and the line like in his free time. That sounded like something my brother would do.
お電話では高谷さんについて知りたいとおっしゃってましたけど、何をお話しすれば？
There were any children here who talked to my brother often? I got straight to the point. I had a flash of inspiration inside of me the second I saw that postcard addressed to Takaya. Then, when I looked up the address of the children's center online, that flash only fueled my conviction. Wasn't this the place that had brought Takaya and Azusa together? This place was close to Azusa's apartment. This place was far from where Takaya's accident occurred. It wasn't far. And on that day, the day of the accident, wasn't this where Takaya was driving to?
よく話す子ね。みんな仲良しだったからな。
The female teacher nestled her jaw in her palm and appeared deep in thought. I waited with bated breath for the name Azusa to come out of her mouth. That was when the teacher in the sandbox looked up. He seemed to have heard our discussion.
ルナちゃんじゃないですか？一番高谷くんに懐いていたのは。
Luna?
あ、ルナちゃん、確かに。
Let me guess, Azusa's name isn't Azusa. She just gave us an alias.
ルナちゃん、さっき図書室で絵本読んでましたよ。
ちょうどいいわ。読んできますね。
No. Ponytail teacher stood up and shouted out to the kindergarteners without waiting for my response.
はーい。年少さんはお昼寝。年長さんはお勉強の時間ですよ。はーい。
The children streamed back inside the building.
ここにいてください。断られたりはないと思うけど。
Sure. After they made sure there were no more children lingering in the yard, the teachers followed after them into the building. I could hear the children clattering around for a short while, but it eventually quieted down. I was left alone in the yard. Looks like I was wrong. I let out a pathetic remark. To be honest, I had gotten my hopes up that I might gotten my hands on another clue. Something nice and decisive, like that Azusa had come from this children's center, and that was where gotten to know Takaya. Or maybe a side to Takaya I had never seen before would come to light. However, it seemed the Takaya who visited the children's center was the same one I knew. Luna, huh? They said she was reading picture books, which suggested she was in kindergarten or elementary school. Not much hope to be had there. Is this your way of saying I won't spill my secrets that easily, brother? Even so, I had no intention of giving up. This did, however, make my second consecutive defeat between this and Takaya's room. There was no avoiding feeling depressed. I heard footsteps and lifted my head. Azusa?
そろそろ来るかもって思ってた。
So it actually is her. Azusa took a seat and looked towards me as she spoke.
うさぎって書いてルナ。里見ルナ。典型的なキラキラネームってやつ。一度だってまともに読まれたことない。こういうの好きな人もいるけど、私は嫌い。大嫌い。大嫌いな母親が押し付けた大嫌いな名前。
Wait. Did you say you were 18? Why are you in orphanage if you're 18? And maybe it's just me who are thinking wrong. But aren't orphanages are places that take care of children that have no family. If you're 18, you are considered an adult. But then again, this is in Japan, so their age for being considered an adult might be higher. So in the eye of the law, or whatever you want to call it, Azusa may still be a child, a kid. So, but then again, she has an apartment, so why?
だから子供園を出るときに改名したの。
Okay, yeah, so you actually don't belong here in that regard.
今は里見あずさ。正真正銘私の本名。知ってた？変えられるんだよ、名前って。理由がちゃんとしてればね。
Well, I know you can change your name.
何？なんか文句あんの？
No, sorry. It's just a lot to take in, is all. I told Azusa how I honestly felt while she glared at me.
そっか。
Azusa didn't look stoned at all, and just silently strolled around. Azusa, you lived here, right?
母親が失踪して ここに預けられたの9年前。父親は知らない。
I see.
そんな顔しないで。
Eh? My head was spinning from the sudden influx of information, and I had no idea what sort of face I was making.
先に言っておくけど、遠慮とか同情とかしないで。余計に情けなくなるから。いい？
That certainly sounded like something she would say, and I felt calmed for it. Sure, I understand. Azusa's former name had been Luna. And Luna was close with Takaya. It appeared I was right that this children's center was Azusa's and Takaya's initial point of contact.
先生たちはまだ私をルナって呼ぶの。まあ今更だからいいんだけど。
The former name Luna was written with kanji for bunny. It sounded like a cute and tasteful name to me, but must have come with some hardships only the person saddled with the name would understand. Probably best not to bring the name up at all.
あんたはどうして来たわけ？
Thinking about Vietnam, I was basically exposing Azusa's private life. Sorry.
なんで謝んの？
It's almost like I forced my way onto your home.
それは別にいい。驚いたけど、それだけ。最初はあんたの全部が気に入らなかったけど。
That's quite a thing to say.
今は少しだけ分かったから。
Pieced what together?
あんたが変なことしてるときはいつだって誰かのためなんだってこと。
I assume that's a compliment.
どうだかね。で、どうして来たわけ？
Well, you're not going to like the answer.
高谷の仕事のことでしょ。言わなくたってわかるし。
Makes sense.
言ったよね。あんたは高谷の代わりになんかなれないって。
I heard you and I agree that I can't.
だったら
I felt like I had to do this when I saw Shahaya and Hinata. I'd given Azusa a general explanation of a shrimpy incident over Shoko.
そうだったんだ。大変だったね。でもあんたは
I can't take Takaya's place. I've given it some thought though.
何が？
Azusa, would you give me a work request? I can't take my brother's place, so I can't take over his job. So I, Junya Misamoto, would like to form a new contract with you, Azusa. What do you think? Azusa stared at me vacantly for a brief moment. But the suspicious look in her eyes came back shortly thereafter.
それ結局同じことじゃない。
You think so too?
そうでしょ。
I see. How disappointing. I tried really hard to come up with that idea too.
そもそも私払えるお金ないし。奨学金とバイト代でギリギリ生活してるんだから。
Not need me to worry about that since I wasn't going to ask for it. This is my way of saying thank you.
お礼されるようなことしてないし。
That's not true. Hinata and Cheyenne managed to reconcile because of you. I figured out who Shrimpy was because you told me about Hinata. Oh yeah, that's right. So that's what he meant by it was because of her. Gave me shivers to think about what might have happened if I hadn't gone to look for those two. Please, let me show you my appreciation.
教えたって。それにさ、今の話って私があんたに協力したお礼に私があんたに協力してあげるってことになってない？仕事をしたいのは私じゃなくてあんたなわけだし。
Oh? Is that how it would work out?
なんか都合が良すぎると思う。
That's true. Disappointment round 2. As much as I had wanted to help Azusa, all this would have accomplished was to satisfy my own needs. Nothing was going wrong like I had hoped. Perhaps that's what I was written in the stars for me today.
そんな顔しないでってば。私がいじめてるみたいじゃん。
You kinda are anyway. My depression must have shown on my face even though I hadn't been aware of it myself.
そうだな。
Azusa gazed around the deserted yard for a second, then softly spoke.
エビーちゃんの動画見た？後編のルサック出てくるやつ。
I did. Rose face came out looking delicious.
思ったより綺麗に作れてた。じゃなくて、あれからパフェ3つ一緒に頼むお客さん増えたの。エビーちゃん効果あったみたい。
Is it that a good thing?
そうでもない。言ったよね、パフェって作るの大変なの。だから厨房は毎日大忙し。私だけじゃなくてルサックのバイトがみんな。お店にとってはいいことかもだけど、バイトの時給は変わらないし。
That's kinda bad. That makes sense. There were advantages and disadvantages to a sudden burst in popularity. It does sound rough.
そうなの、大変なの。全部あんたのせいだから。
What?
あんたに関わったせいで私もバイト仲間も迷惑してる。
Shouldn't it be Hinata's fault that you have work trouble, since she was the one who ordered and uploaded all of those things? That's obviously...
だから迷惑料ってことにする。
Azusa cut my thought short and said that. Oh, you for trouble?
取ってよ。
I see. So that's what this was. Asusa had come up with an excuse for my sake. Got it. Tell me if there is anything I can do for you to apologize for the trouble. You won't need to pay me, of course. I want to repay you for the trouble I caused. Susan nodded, as if to tell me, well done. Negotiations seem to have concluded.
じゃあ言うけど、高谷には探してもらってたの。
Is it sake cups?
それをあんたに探してもらう。迷惑料として。
Finding lost items is again a speciality. What are you looking for?
物っていうか場所かな。
Asusa took a short breath and looked up at me.
高谷には星空の部屋を探してもらってたの。
Okay, but I think that is a good place to end this video at, so hope you liked it, and if you did, so leave a like to it as usual, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!